Hi all. So the US has vetoed now for the sixth time a resolution calling for a ceasefire in Gaza and the release of the Israeli hostages. And as I was listening to the news today, I had a thought which I've had many a times earlier as well, and it has to do with this idea of the Muslim Ummah. Because even recently, the country where I'm from, Pakistan, made a lot of statements about how the Muslim Ummah needs to get together and save itself from Israel, of course, especially after this Israeli attack on Qatar. And I have been hearing these statements about the Muslim Ummah and the solidarity of the Muslim Ummah all my life. And for a while now, I've been thinking about, well, what does it actually mean? So I looked up the history, and guess who holds the world record for killing the largest number of Muslims? It's not any non Muslim empire or kingdom or ruler. It is, in fact, Tamerlane, Temur who was a very Muslim king emperor, and he killed, by some estimate, 17 million people in his campaigns, and most of these in Herat, Isfahan, in Aleppo, in Damascus, in Baghdad were all Muslim. But you don't have to go all the way back to Tamerlane. You can look at the Iran Iraq war in the 1980s, where more Muslims were killed than the invasions of Iraq and Afghanistan in the 21st century. My point here is look, fellow Muslims, the fact is that we are not one global nation. The whole idea is ridiculous because if we were, then after this sixth veto by the US, at the very least, all the Muslims in the US, including many in my family, they should at least leave their jobs because their taxes are now directly funding a genocide of fellow Muslims. But they're not going to, are they? I wouldn't either in their place because the fact is that we are not one people. Yes, as humans, we should care about all humans, but there are always limits to that care, and there are bounds of reason as well. If one Muslim or even a thousand of them leave their jobs in the US, does that really change anything for Palestinians in Gaza? The fact is that we need to admit the truth which has been facing us for centuries now, that there is no one Muslim people. Yes, Muslims get together for the Hajj. You want to call that congregation Ummah? Have at it. But there is no one Ummah in the sense of this global nation which many Muslims assume. Let's call a spade and end this bullshit.